So it looks like EA cannot catch a break from the Battlefront 2 controversy, especially around the microtransactions and the loot boxes. They are now going to be basically not taking the trial really, but they're gonna have legal problems with this because now what's happening is U.S. senators are calling for this game to become illegal. The gambling system is what they're calling it, to become illegal. So in the next legislative session in the U.S., there might be a bill with the author of Chris Lee, U.S. senator from Hawaii, proposing that they should remove all the gambling aspects of games like this and make it completely legal. This will hurt EA a lot financially, but this is going to cause a huge storm in debate in the gaming community, and even the legal community, I guess, or like the lawyers and crap. I don't really care about them though. So I'm going to give you the article from GameSpot. They did an article on this, and it says United States politicians representing the state of Hawaii have condemned the use of loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2, describing it as predatory practice. They can take advantage of vulnerable people. In a press conference, State Representative Chris Lee, the guy from Hawaii, he's a senator, said he was taking action in order to ensure future protections for kids, youth, and everyone else. Now, taking action, it means, of course, he's taking a stance against this, but it also means that he's going to try to make this into law. So Chris Lee goes on to say in a press conference, he says, "This game is a Star Wars-themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. It's a trap. It's a trap!" Then he says, "This is something we need to address to ensure that particularly kids who are underage, who are not psychologically and emotionally mature enough to gamble, which is why gambling is prohibited under 21, are protected from being trapped into these cycles which have compelled many folks to spend thousands of dollars in gaming fees online." He goes on to say, "We are looking at legislation this coming year which could prohibit sales of these games to folks who are underage in order to protect these families, as well as prohibiting different kinds of mechanisms in those games." He then says, we've been talking with several other states as well as legislators. They are looking at the same thing. I think this is the appropriate time to make sure these issues are addressed before this becomes the norm for every new game. So that's big. I do have a problem with America in general. I'm 18 years old. I can buy a house. I can get a credit card. I can smoke. I can technically gamble with the lottery. I can serve in the military and kill a man. I can vote who runs my country for president in any other office. But for some reason, I cannot drink a bottle of beer and I cannot gamble at a casino. That makes absolutely no sense. But whatever. So I have a huge problem with that aspect of it, but I understand his concerns. However, I don't really think this is purely gambling. Like I said, this might cause a debate, but it's a very touchy topic. Stuff like this has always been a problem in the gaming community. There's been reports of kids who are like 12 to 14 spending their parents' credit cards on games and microtransactions. And I know CS:GO had a big problem with this. Technically, gambling for minors. And a lot of YouTubers got crap for that. So this has been a topic for a while, but this is now like officially about to become something that's going to be in the U.S. Senate and might become law and everything. So this is quite interesting. The representative Sean Quillen, he's a state representative. I don't know what he does, but he's a state representative of Hawaii. He says it's a AAA title that has been released by the world's largest gaming studio, my bad, and it has the most popular intellectual property in the world attached to it, and it's marketed squarely at children. I can somewhat agree with that, yeah. And so then he goes on to say, these kinds of loot boxes and microtransactions are explicitly designed to prey upon and exploit human psychology in the same way casino games are designed. This is especially true for young adults who are child psychologists and other experts explain are particularly vulnerable to these kind of things. These exploitive mechanisms and the deceptive marketing promoting them have no place in the games being marketed towards minors, and perhaps no place in games at all. So basically what they're calling for is either make games like this illegal for anyone under 21, or ban the use of loot boxes and microtransactions in general in these games. I agree with the second statement because I truly hate microtransactions. I don't agree with the first. I don't really like government telling businesses what they really can and cannot do in terms of what they can sell. Of course, there's certain aspects of it, of course, but, I'm very libertarian and Republican when it comes to, the government being involved in my life. So there's that aspect of it, but I also do agree that, trying to get minors to gamble isn't the greatest idea. I don't really care in general, though. I don't know how minors can get a hold of a lot of money But, you know, there's a whole debate about this. There's also debate that microtransactions at the moment are gone in the EA game of Battlefront 2, but they will be coming back. That's a huge thing. A lot of people are giving this game a lot of praise for removing it, but it's a temporary remove. It's funny how people don't want to read the things they don't want to see. So the game has a temporary remove of microtransactions, but they will come back eventually, and this might be what bites EA in the butt. So seeing this, though, EA might consider not even bringing microtransactions back, which kind of is a victory for the U.S. Senator. However, I do think in the next legislative session, he will propose a bill to end all this stuff, which will be kind of interesting. So a lot of cool stuff about, or a lot of interesting stuff about gaming and the internet. You got the net neutrality thing that's coming in December. That's going to be voted upon. If you don't know about that, look into that. It's very interesting. And you also have the ending of loot boxes and or gambling, if you want to call it, for any future game ever in America. So that's quite interesting. So comment your thoughts below. Do you agree with these U.S. senators and representatives that they should end and ban all the in-game gambling and microtransactions and whatnot? Or do you think they're overreacting and just being old fools? That's kind of how Republicans tend to go, but I don't even know if these guys are Republicans or not. But anyways, comment your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you all next time. May the Force be with you, always.